Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus here again. The presidential election 2016 is over. Donald Trump won. But I hear that millions of you, for I'm sure all kinds of reasons, chose not to go to the polls and vote for anyone. You were not perhaps interested in the Democrats' platform or its representative. And likewise, you perhaps were not interested in the Republicans' platform or its representative, nor any of the others perhaps you thought had a chance, so you just decided to sit it out. And there might be some amongst you who decided to sit it out because your perspective from and I'm going to say it, a righteous point of view was not represented. So you decided to sit it out. And when I say righteous, I'm talking about a platform of government that worked for the people, worked for the living people, administered by the people, approved by the people, for the people. And so you decided that wasn't being represented, so you sat out. Now, normally, during a presidential election, I run. I run because I represent that was just associated for you. And I always end up running as a write-in because from the closest ones around me, I do not stimulate enough interest in a platform such as that, even for them to tell anyone else. So while we go to church and we talk about love and we talk about God on Sundays, and we come back and we live in the world. And it seems that when we actually look at the results of what our hands are put to, we see a representation of that which is not of God. And we ask ourselves, why does that happen? Well, we know that it happens because what you put your hands to every day, though it was designed by God for a good benefit, it is being manipulated and constrained for a situation that benefits what we see here today. And most people don't know that, and even if they do know that, they don't know what to do. Perhaps they sit at home and hope that one day it will change. I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that the truth of the matter is that it's much more than that. It is very, very much more than that. What we really have here in a situation on earth where humans are involved, in a situation where everything was provided for heaven to be experienced here on earth, everything that man needed outside of man's ability was already designed and put here. Everything else was been distributed within mankind. And forces necessary to bring it out rest amongst the people and the individual. And so we live here today where that situation, though it might have wanted to and hoped to start that way from the beginning, given choice has brought it to the point that where we are here today. And it is a crying shame when people can stand before you and say that the mud is so thick and the bottom so deep that it might take generations to step up out of this on solid ground and be able to live a life that was designed. But here it is. We have in operation today two gods. And so with these two gods, it is requiring a separation. We have a God that represents good, which means everybody. And you got a God which represents evil, which means some. And there it is. Here we are in the midst, and we are given a choice to make the road, to choose which way we will go this day. As I have said in an occasion where one was asked, If you had your eyes opened when it had been closed and everybody else's eyes were closed, what would you do? And the answer was, well, if they end up killing me, if I know they'll kill me for changing my way of acting, I'll pretend as though my eyes are still closed. And that is the expression of the world today, not just America. And this is definitely an expression of what America is today. People know what's going on, but they keep their eyes closed because whoever is running this show on the evil side does not play any games, and they will take your life out. And you want to live as long as you can possibly live because you have no idea what's really, really going on in the essence of life. What I basically mean is that all you know is what you have been seeing, what you've been hearing, and that is which is before you, that can be distinguished by your senses, and that's it. And that being limited and processed and designed by the powers that be, you can only be what you are, and that is submissive to the powers that are, wherever it takes you. If it takes you to the bottom of the pit, making you the slave, making you sheep, making you cattle, you will bend to it because by all means you want to live absent truth. You don't know that death is the door that leads to another consciousness. You don't know that, and you don't know that the consciousness by which it leads is designed by you. You don't know that. I would like for you to know that. I would like for you to know that having an understanding, having the truth allows you to walk in any situation. Having the truth allows you to walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Having the truth allows you to walk into a lion's den. Having the truth allows you to walk into a burning furnace, not worried about what happens, because you know that it doesn't matter. It's all right. Why? Because it's in the master's hand. It's in some other power's hand, not yours or mine. And so that's where your faith rests. So who should you let enslave you? For what? I have come before you, ladies and gentlemen, time and time again. And the people have made the Republican candidate. And it is being said that a mandate is being made for change. They have said they want to replace all of the things that have been done by the Democratic administration under Barack Obama. They want to change as much of that as they possibly can. And what gets me is the general public who have seen Republicans come, who have seen them go, who have seen Democrats come, who have seen them go, and who can look back at them all and recognize they all promised the same things and every last one of them failed. Sure, each of them did some little thing they can call iconic, so they can say they did something. But based upon the promises which were made, based upon the expectations of the people, they all failed, continuously failed. And we the people, allowed them to rotate over and over and again, promising the same lie because we want it. So this time, the people decided to try something different. They wanted a rebel, and they got a rebel. It didn't matter to them where this rebel come from or where this rebel was going. The only thing that mattered to them that he did not represent what has been. And they would rather trust and put their faith in something that has not been than keep on going the way they're going. That's fantastic. That is lovely. That is beautiful. I've been preaching it all my preaching life. But here is the mystery, my friends. The question now becomes, it should have been a long time ago, is where you going? You see, when you get so caught up in it, when you've been caught so beat down and you have been at the handlebars of the beat down. This beat down did not just occur. This beatdown is a reflection of the hearts and the lack of compassion in you, the people. Sure, you've been programmed to be like that, but you didn't know you were being programmed. You thought that that was all real, that that is the way it's supposed to be. No, my friends, that is a program that you have accepted into your life structure. And it is the reason that the government is as it is today. And there is something deep down inside of you that's craving for change, but that change must come in a way that you can understand it. And how can you understand it except it comes the same way it always been coming? Undermining, lying, cheating, stealing, and killing. That's how it has always been. Not just in this nation, but every nation on the face of the earth has been established that way. Promises that were deferred. The people have gone on and on and on and on with it. Now, I say that we'll sit here with these two gods and this purpose for humans here on earth, since they chose not that which was most beautiful, was to separate those from those who wanted which was that which is most beautiful, from those who wanted a different kind of way. Those who wanted from the most beautiful kind of way are those who says that everybody is equal in brotherly and sisterly and family love. We all give of ourselves because it makes it easier, not only in the amount that we got to do, but in the pleasure and the joy that we get out of doing it, because it's spread to more and requires more of what we are. And it gives us an opportunity to give. And by giving, all kinds of stuff comes to us to receive. That's the way it is meant. When you hear people say, it's better to give than receive, the way that you're talking about it here in material terms is a bunch of garbage. You're talking about something much, much bigger than that. Sure, you can look at that as a principle, but it's much, much bigger than that. It's on the human level. Give all you got to give. Can you imagine the world? Everybody got something and they all giving it. Where you going to put it all? You won't take it home and make no junk out of it because you don't have to. That is the kind of world that the people everywhere have rejected. No, they go for the world where some are better than others, where some deserve more than others, where some are nothing. They're supposed to be used and abused to benefit you, to make your life more easier, to loosen you up from those things that you don't like doing, so that you can live and fly high in the mighty sky of doing your role and holding up that which in itself will eradicate itself. One thing about the mission of good is that it keeps growing on itself. It keeps building on itself. And that is unlimited. But the opposite, it keeps like a cancer eating up itself. And when the people know the truth, when the people know that the gateway out of this hell is the door, it leads the way out of it. How you go is determined by the choices that you make. You must, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, stand up. I know many of you say that you want changes and you made a move, but you had to give in because you had to support something that, even though you hated, you would rather have it than something that you hated more, which invalidated everything that you say you stood for. Because if what you stood for was worth a dime, then why didn't they? You say, well, they didn't know that much about me. I wasn't that popular. It's not about you. It's about the idea. What is it? If it's so fantastic, who's going to represent it if not you? There are always going to be people who are more popular than you. There are always going to be people who are going to have the power of the masses behind them instead of you. But your idea, how much support can it get? Can it even get your support? So what is being said is that the separation comes between good and evil by you. Evil will kill you. Now you might ask yourself, should you just die for good and you want to live? Of course, if you don't know truth, do what makes you feel free. If you don't know truth, then bending over backwards, being a slave to survive makes you feel blessed, then do it. But for those of you who don't want to go that way, who just want somebody to tell you how it is, there's a door that says, stand up for good. When the world looks at you, let them see what you represent. And what is that you represent? You represent the Almighty God. Why? Because what you represent goes to everybody, even those crooks over there, if they wake up. And when they wake up. When they wake up, the beautiful world that they've been denied through a lie will still be there waiting for them. But they haven't awakened yet. And so you can stand up and resist them with any force that they bring at you, if that's your choice. If you think that after this is over, your purpose in life would be beneficial to glorify God in such a way that other men might be drawn to the truth and walk out of that lie and start standing up for truth, if you're convinced that that will happen, then by all means do it. But if you've done all you can and you don't see any light over there, and you figure that it's going to take someone else other than you, and you're ready to just get the heck out of this, then stand up even stronger and let the glory of the Lord shine through you like the big beaming sun. And if they take you out, let them walk through that door of death into that paradise that has been promised to you ever since you had truth come into your spirit. You found that born-again birth that led you through all of the hell. No matter which way it came, you were able still to survive and look a lie in the face and say, not today. Because you know the truth. And it is through you standing up do men and women and children and old folks see the glory of God and say it must be like that. Because ain't nobody else doing that but the devil. And I say the devil because he stands up just like that. The only problem is the fruit of the seed is not represented. So ladies and gentlemen, I say this to you because we're at a time that decisions must be made. Those people who commit themselves to good will stand up for good, and they will appreciate that door of death that is open to lead them out of this hell. But while living here, they are not submissive to the ways of the world. No, they need everything that has been designed to provide for life on earth. And they step out by faith to ascertain everything that is required for survival. And when they have to go up against the evil one are those who have come up with systems that benefit the maintenance of an evil system. And it is the responsibility of this challenge to be met with the spirit of love, demanding by the power of truth for these demons to loose what they tricked the people in God. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you just like it is. But if the bottom line, if everybody in the face of the earth is so blind that they can't see, or let's say everybody else in the world can see on the same track, and you're the only one that see different, if you think beyond a shadow of doubt and confident that your way is the right way, brother, you better step out there on it. You better step out there on it. Somebody might say, well, why? If everybody else is thinking one way, don't you think that must be a fool to go straight? I said, he came in the world by himself. You say, well, he was one of the twins, or each of them came into the world by themselves, one at a time. So it's not by numbers. It's by what truth is. Truth can withstand the lie. Truth will always withstand the lie. So I say to you once again, what I got here? 20 minutes? Man, I must have been going. That was a couple things I wanted to say. I wanted to say, look, death is a door of access from one to the other in consciousness. As I indicated, the God is about people of peace and prosperity and joy, unlimited food, for clothing, shelter, education, health care, career for all, treat each other as they themselves want to be treated, and they will profit from the truth. And their world will be unlimited and unrestricted forever. Unlimited and unrestricted forever. No one will be there but those who want that. On the other hand, the God of evil, we already know what that's all about. That's why we're going through all kinds of things in our world today. We talk about sanctions. We say, what is sanctions? They say. We say sanctions is a means to force others to do what they don't want to do. Sometimes it's good, by pushing some to the curb, to curb abuse. Other times it's not so good when it forces people to accept abuse or to go along with abuse. But nations do that, call themselves sanctioned. If you did the right thing, people of the world, if you demanded the right thing, not of your government first, but of one another first. Everything, let me say this to you as an individual, everything that exists on this earth was put here for you. Everything, whether it's above the earth, seen and unseen, on the earth, seen and unseen, in the earth, seen and unseen, it was put here for you to be available, to produce everything you need for survival, like food, clothes, shelter, education, healthcare, careers of your own choosing. It was definitely designed for that. For each of you. And when I say for you, I'm talking about every human being on earth. It belongs to you. So, if you respect your right in ownership, you should respect everybody else's right in ownership. And since there are so many things that's coming amongst every last one of you, you should make sure you expect a settlement in that and guarantee to each and every last one of you that those things undoubtedly will be met. And those things that are not common but are unique amongst you, and as you dream and aspire, all the races of time is in your hand. And the materials and resources still are available. Unlimited and unrestricted to do what you want to do. That's simple. Everybody. Why somebody got to be so great they call themselves a pharaoh? Or call themselves an emperor? Or call themselves a king? Or a prince? Or a queen? Or a princess? Or a president? Or prime minister? Why somebody got to be so great that got to mean something more than a responsibility that you must do or be sent your walking papers? I mean, simple enough to me. But the people decided, rather than go that route, since the Republican and Democratic representatives were referred to as evil representatives, half of the nation neither wanted the other one. And so the entire nation was dissatisfied with both who were put before them, and yet they accepted it, the process, and they chose one. It didn't matter about religious faith or nothing. They went to those polls and they voted for evil as they expected it to be. I'm not talking about whether this person is evil, true or not. But I'm saying evil as they expect it to be. They might hope that he might not be as evil as they really expect it to be. but evil nonetheless. Isn't that something? This is a nation, United States of America, who has reduced itself to say, and you got what, governors, you got mayors, you got heads of religious organizations and institutions, you got presidents of universities, you got lawyers and judges, and all of these people sitting up there thinking they somebody. They really think they're somebody. And you can tell, they should be able to tell now, they have just been tools of the system. Because they went along with all of the crap that has just gone down, and they're still going along with it, thinking it's okay, justifying it in their own limited understanding of wisdom. Hey, but it can stop just like that. Just like that, twinkling in an eye. If you just wake up. Wake up. Change your heart about your selfish ways. Recognize that Donald Trump is not the answer to these problems. Recognize that the United States of America is not the answer to the world's problem. Recognize that white people are not the answer or the cause of the world's problems. They play a major role in the causes, and they will have to play a major role in the solution. But what will happen is that it will be not man's solution, it'll be man's choice. But the solution will come from the unseen Spirit of God. It'll come from truth. And man will choose it as opposed to what they've been doing. And in choosing it, they will walk accordingly. And every step they make will take us closer to that day that when we can say, somebody said, thank God Almighty, we're free at last. I think we beginning. We beginning. Many of us will miss that happening here. Many of us would have walked through that door and we would already be there. But the steps that we made, we hope we make it deep enough. We hope that we make our feet tracks wide enough to encompass a spirit that will go out and drive people in a situation of life to do and say and act the right way. Because it's a different thing. It's a different thing. Why should a person of God be forced to conform to do some stuff? If you don't believe in abortion and you want to stand up against it, stand up against it. But see, standing up against it means you are for life. If you want to be real, you're going to stand up against abortion, you got to stand up equally against war. Otherwise, you're just a phony, doing what you've been trained and brainwashed to do, and you don't know it. You think you just came up that way. No. Nothing is just happening. All of the stuff is strategized, ladies and gentlemen. All of this stuff is strategized. There's one thing that is not strategized. They stay away from that. And that's the truth. They don't know the truth. Or they know the truth and they want to make sure you never know it. When they make decisions that will cut truth out. And anybody who walks into truth will walk a different trick than walking the way they've been walking all the time. And you will get attention. I know some of you say, I've done so much I don't want attention. Well, you know that the power that brought you this awakening, that awakening liberates you from all that stuff now because you understand why you did what you did and why everybody is doing what they're doing and why you decided to leave yours behind and live into them an opportunity to leave theirs behind. Because now you are not in a position to judge them just because you quit. No, baby. You can tell them what's better. You can live what's better before them. And you can tell them why it's better. You can tell them what kind of problems they're going to get to. You can do all that kind of stuff, but the choice is always theirs. You can't get mad at passing some laws saying the law say you can't. What your spirit say. If you are a demon and your demon spirit say do it, then do what your demon spirit say do. I tell you one thing, let the person that you do it against have the Spirit of God in them. And there's a solution to that demon spirit. I got to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I said something that's beneficial to each and every last one of you. Once again, this is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate for basic human rights for all people. And for those of you who don't know what that is peace, prosperity, and joy, and those things that are common and necessary for survival in this life, such as food, clothing, shelter, education, health care, and a career of your own choosing, is never denied to anyone, by anyone. Not while the Spirit of the Lord lives in me. Bye-bye.